Okay, hello. Welcome to the live chat. Whew, boy, I tell you, sometimes it is a countdown to the very last minute. But you have to admit, I'm getting better because there was a time when I would sit here and talk to myself, and I'm thinking I'm getting down and I'm talking to myself for, I don't know, maybe 9 minutes, I think was the record before anybody said, "Where's Baron?" Which kind of leads me to believe that this podcast could really work itself out whether I'm here or not here. That's reassuring, isn't it? I feel good. Well, actually, I don't like that. Hello, Sheila Watson. Welcome. And hello, Beverly Jackson, Church Nelly, Barbara Cohn. Welcome, Valerie Serg. Yes. Denise Jones, Annie Bullard, Lydia Washington. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today, moderator. And let's see here. Is that Josie Adasoy? Okay. And Mary G. Anna Espinoza. Dari Wiley. Welcome. Emma D. Welcome. And Joseph Berno, welcome. Gwendolyn Daniels, Denise Jones. Let's see, Mary Hiker, welcome. Connie Balmer, welcome. Patricia Lane. And hello, Teslin Dawkins. And Carmen Bennett. Patrice Patrick, welcome. Carolyn Sowers. Yvonne Clark, welcome. Joyce Bolt, hello. Denise Jones. Let's see. Latoya Wiley, Miranda Rios. Okay, I think I'm starting to repeat myself. Diana Ware, Elaine Parker, who always makes things so easy for me. Let's see. Welcome, Miss S, Ethan's husband. Let's see. Leslie and Rosa Roberts, I bet. And Anna Espinoza, Joan Commonwealther, Dari. Okay. I think I got all those. Cookies and cream, etc. Thank you, Elaine Parker. Okay, so welcome to this lunch hour. I didn't actually call it the lunch hour, but I think you kind of get it by now. Well, there's so much going on, but let's just start with this guy. Let's start with him. What in the world was he thinking? Well, apparently, and someone shared this with me on Twitter. Thank you very much for that. And it was from that famous American lawyer, the one that you never want to see on your doorstep if you've done something wrong, especially where women's rights are concerned. And so she pretty much said it like this. She said that from what she's read through, all of the paperwork with the trial, all of the accounts of the trial so far, she says that Guthrie already asked for a jury trial, that her lawyers were already motioning toward a jury trial, and that this charming gentleman right here decided to try to look like a hero and to try to look defiant, that he would actually have his lawyers, via his lawyers, say that he also would like to have a bench trial. But it's not really an also, because it wasn't that obvious that that's what Guthrie wanted. So what he's doing is taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people are ignorant to the procedures, myself included, but it was quickly pointed out by people who knew better that this was all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors, and that there was no there, that this is not some heroic act of defiance. Like, for instance, one of the, I guess, ploys, if you will, one of the tactics from his defense, that is Andrew's defense, is that they're trying to wage an inconsistent defense, meaning that, and on the one hand, they are saying that it was consensual, but then on the other hand, they're also saying that, um, how do I put it? That she was no angel, if you will. So they're going to try to drag her through the mud by them asking for this bench trial. That pretty much insinuates that they are going to. I'm sorry, not a bench trial, but a jury trial. They are going to go after her character. That's what it spells out. Is that they are going to go after her character, and they are pretty much saying that they want this big blowout in court so that he can prove his innocence. So this is one of the things I wanted to point out about him hanging on to those military titles. He is still hanging on to those titles. Forget what you heard in the press. The way that that was worded, it sounds like to me that if he is victorious in court, then he's going to go back and say, okay, he didn't relinquish anything. That's my whole point. He didn't swear that he didn't want these titles ever again. What he suggests is that he's given them up for the time being. They were returned, and I guess it's on some type of condition, to Her Majesty the Queen. He hasn't really given up anything. He hasn't given up his HRH, or should I say, he hasn't lost his HRH. He has not lost his royal protection. The point is, he hasn't lost a whole lot. The only thing is, those little vanity titles that he had is in safekeeping should and if and when he ever proves himself innocent, which is not likely to ever happen. But if he can prove himself innocent, then somehow he expects that he's going to go riding in there on a white horse and get his titles back, and everybody is going to just say, oh my goodness, this was just a big terrible misunderstanding. That is not likely to happen. So um the plaintiff has already asked for a bench trial. That information may not, I'm sorry, not a bench trial, I keep saying that, a jury trial. That may not be so obvious to everyone who's been following the case. Is only because it wasn't a thing that he and his lawyers used this strategy to try to big him up and make him seem like he is somehow brave and courageous and needs only to prove his innocence. It really makes me wonder, where is he receiving his legal counsel? Who is talking to this guy? Because somebody is giving him, I don't know what kind of representation he has, but they are doing him a disservice because they're trying to fight a fight that they cannot win. It is that pompous arrogance that got him in trouble in the first place. It's what has kept him in trouble all these years, is that he doesn't know how to read the room. He still doesn't know how to read the room. He doesn't know when he's defeated. And of course, that mentality is what led to that train wreck interview that he had with the, what was it, the BBC? That's supposed to be a safe space for the royals, but yet he goes and has this train wreck of an interview with the BBC. Now, I've heard, I've heard that he, I guess, sought his advice from some unlikely sources. Okay. By the way, I didn't make this. I've shared this with you before, but I get such a kick out of this. I love this. You got to read the caption there. Man stopped in Windsor Castle. Man stopped and detained, attempting to enter Windsor Castle on Christmas Day. Thank you, somebody. But anyway, I'm still trying to figure out who gave him that advice. Who told him that he should try to use this tactic? And then I thought about it. I'm just like, okay, this is kind of easy to sort out. Where did he get the advice for the BBC interview? Who advised him that that was a good idea to go and sit in front of the BBC and try to explain his case? Do you all remember who said that? It was alleged that this is his legal counsel. This is his legal counsel. No, I'm just kidding. But these are the people that advised him that this was a good idea. Okay, do you guys remember that? They said that his daughters advised him to just go out there and tell his story. After all, you are a prince of the realm. Remind me if I ever get in trouble. I don't care if it's a parking ticket. Remind me, do not seek out Beatrice and Eugenie for any advice when it comes to legal matters or even trying to defend myself against some court case or whatever, because it's not going to work out too well. I believe that if the information that I have received about this issue is correct with the interview, they said that it was the daughters who advised him, this is what you ought to do. So, note to self, do not listen to Beatrice or Eugenie if I find myself in legal jeopardy. Uh, that's just so bad. But that's what they said. And they are never, ever wrong. So, anyway, um, let's see. Okay. I mean, well, let me put it to you like this. Even if it's fashion advice, okay? Like, what if you decide that you are looking for a day look, right? Don't talk to them about that either. Don't ask them for legal advice and don't worry them about fashion cues because you are going to the wrong source. I'm just kidding. They ain't bothering nobody. Um, I just couldn't resist. I love these photos though. They just they speak to me. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. Excuse me. Let me get rid of that. Oh boy, Baron, not starting off too well today, am I? Okay. But it just reminds me, I mean, there you have it. This is what his problem is. This is his real problem. His image is forever tarnished. It's forever tarnished. He's always had financial issues. He has that chalet, stuff that he really should not have been able to afford. And then this, the poor long suffering queen, the poor long suffering queen. They love to claim that the Sussexes are the ones that's driving her. You can't even say an early one at this point, but just driving her to, that inevitable outcome. It's not the Sussexes. They are in California minding their business. None of this stuff has anything to do with them. However, in recent days, there has been photos of Harry and Andrew side by side trying to create this false comparison where a comparison does not exist. You'll never see an image of Andrew like this. You'll never find this with Andrew. Or even with the egghead. You're not going to find none of them. The only other person that you've ever seen in this tender moment like this was Princess Diana. That's it. Like mother, like son. But for the rest of that family, none of this stuff exists. They have an overblown sense of self importance. And the poor queen is wearing herself out, digging that escape tunnel for her son You know, this is why she's not well. This is how she hurt her back. She sprained her back because her son has her up all night trying to dig an escape tunnel just in case the authorities, just in case he needs to get away. You understand? So, you know, the queen is doing the best that she can with what she has to work with. So none of this, you know, is a reflection upon her directly, but this is her legacy, and her legacy is being affected by Andrew. So, okay. I got that little shady bit out. I'm satisfied. Let me go to your comments. The poor queen. I feel so awful for her. Okay, let me see. Let me scroll all the way to the most recent one. Yes, hello, Church Nelly. Okay. Andrew's former maid, Charlotte Biggs, called him demanding and entitled, saying how miserable she was working for the pompous guy. Well, yes, it's been alleged that Andrew has had a long history of mistreatment, alleged mistreatment of the staff of the royal family. And isn't there like some kind of clause or some kind of exemption or law that says that they are not able to, I guess, sue or pursue any type of legal cases against the royal family? Although there was that one lady who sued Clarence House, who sued Prince Charles because she was called the N-word typist, excuse me, by Prince Charles's you know, favorite aide, what is it, Michael Forsyth? She was called the N-word typist some years ago, and she said that she had been bullied in the workplace. Well, I think whatever has happened in those other royal households would probably pale in comparison to Andrew. That's just a hunch that I have. I can't prove it. But Andrew is notorious for his temper and his very petty, childish behavior. He's notorious for that, and that he is the very model of privileged royalty. And none of that was enough to keep this person from hanging out with him. None of that was enough to keep her away. Um, you don't hear her saying much about Andrew. I don't know what it is that she decides that she'd rather go after the Sussexes. Oh, I know what it is. The Sussexes are just interesting. And Andrew is a friend. Andrew is a friend. They are all friends. These people that follow these royals around, they're friends. They're friends. They dance together. They drink together. They have their little parties and whatever it is they're doing. They do all that stuff together. So of course she's not going to say anything disparaging about Andrew because they, you know, have an understanding of sorts, I would imagine. So there's that. This is just me being petty. Let me see your comments. I know I just saw something that looked familiar and I just threw that together. Have you all found out who the bullying claims were really for? Andrew, of course, and they're tried pinning the bogus ones on Meghan. Well, there was the Biggs lady that someone else just mentioned, but I think that the palace is supposed to investigate, right? The palace said they're going to launch an investigation into these recent bullying claims, and whatever the claims are, they will completely, if they're being fair and honest, if they are really going to go back and look into these claims, it will completely overshadow any of these claims that Meghan was such a tyrant at the Kensington Palace. This is a man who's had a long history. What is he, like 60 years old, something like that? He's had a long history of this awful behavior toward the staff um, at the well, he had an apartment at Buckingham Palace at one time. So, but anyway, like when he was in the garden of Buckingham Palace, and it was alleged that he was out there at a time when no one was expected to be out there, and the police tackled him and nearly beat him to a pulp. You know what I'm thinking about that though? Let me tell you what I think about that. I think when they tackled him, when they beat him within an inch of his life, I think when that happened, they were not confused about who he was. They just had an excuse to do what they wanted to do because he probably had it coming. I'm pretty sure that a lot of those blows that allegedly were placed upon his person was probably, and this is for so and so, and this is for so and so, and this is for Biggs. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure at a certain point, once they realized who he was, that that did not limit them taking the occasional jab again and again until they say, "Oh, sir, I didn't realize. Oh, sir, Your Royal Highness, we weren't expecting you here." I bet you they did the ropey dope, the windmill, and if you don't know what the windmill is, I ain't gonna even tell you. But I'm sure they did a lot of stuff, and it's probably nothing that Princess Anne hasn't done herself. I'm pretty sure it's nothing that you wouldn't expect Afro Annie to do, but I'm sure it was quite the sight before they finally decided, "Oh, yeah, this is a prince of the realm. Maybe we shouldn't do that." So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it took a minute before they realized who he was, and then another couple minutes and a few more blows before they decided that. But no, it was pretty serious though. They said he was nearly shot. The story is that he was nearly shot because he was in the back garden at Buckingham Palace at a time and a place where they assumed that he was an intruder. So it could have been a real disaster after they got in all the blows that they wanted to deliver. So let's see. At last, I get to join in live. Okay, Nadine Salas Richards, I'm glad you're here. Oh, from Berkshire, United Kingdom. Welcome, welcome. Well, we're glad you're here. But yeah, so that is Prince Andrew's deal. He obviously, obviously has been taking some pretty bad advice, and he has found himself in a situation where he has nothing to do but fight because he's been cornered by the truth. And the truth has finally put him in a position where his mama can't help him. His mama ain't gonna be able to help him out of this one. This is an American court. And the apparently the judge is someone who is not at all impressed by his status as a prince of the realm. The many times that they tried to find some technicality to throw the case out of court, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. They weren't having it. They were like, "No, you're a nobody here." And on top of that, people think you're a prevert. So, as Archie Bunker would say, yeah, there people think you're a prevert there. People assume that you are a prevert. But yeah, that's bad though. But Archie Bunker sometimes he would just wouldn't get the language right, but he instead of saying the other way, he would say a prevert. Um, so I'm in a good mood today. Can you tell? When you're rich, you get away with anything and everything. It will all get swept under the carpet. He'll get a slap on the wrist. Yeah, he's not going to jail. He's not going to jail. He's always going to be his mother's son. The only thing that he should ever worry about is when his brother takes the throne. Charles is, Charles is only thinking about other things. He's not concerned about this guy. So when his brother becomes king, that is when he will truly, truly find himself exposed. The queen will probably make some provisions in her will to protect him as much as she can. But by royal patent, I think Prince Charles is going to, I guess, cast him adrift. So his days are numbered. His quality of life is probably only as good as what he's able to have with Her Majesty the Queen alive. But once she's gone, he's really going to be in a very tough position. That's why I'm glad the Sussexes are out of Narnia, because the Sussexes, could you imagine Harry and Meghan subject to the whims of William? Could you imagine that? I can, and it's scary. I can imagine that this petty individual would definitely make life incredibly difficult for the Sussexes. I mean, look at what he's done so far. Thus far, if that's any indication of what he's capable of, you and your family had best get out of there. Get out of there. Go to Canada, sort things out, and then maybe, just maybe, there's some very powerful media mogul that can help you get out of this jam. And that, of course, is hello. Hello. Yes, Medea to the rescue. Medea Force One sent her private jet to rescue the Sussexes. Medea Force One. And the Sussexes were given the Medea protection. That includes a cast iron skillet. I'm pretty sure that the Duchess of Sussex carries a little small cast iron skillet in her purse, because let me stop. That's one thing that the Duchess has learned from Auntie Medea is to carry a small cast iron skillet in your purse at all times. The peacekeeper. Yeah. So that's one of the things that the Duchess of Sussex has picked up from Auntie Medea is to keep you a small cast iron skillet in your purse at all times, and you'll be okay. So they went to Medea's safe house, and they cool now. So it's all good. Don't you love it when I'm in a good mood? I do, because the alternative is dreadful. Excuse me. So, anyway, that's enough of all that who shot John. But yeah, so they're safe now, and thank goodness they're not subject to the whims of that tyrant. Now, moving right along, let's see here. We got that. We got that. Um, I was going to rehash this a bit about that liar, but we don't really need to go through this. But this is just a sample of her handiwork. Boy, I'm so sick of her. Do you hear me? Sick of her. Um, yeah, and to think that she's paid for this. She's really paid. Now, one thing I have to say though, one of the photos of her was so disturbing. The one on the upper left was created by the Telegraph. I didn't like it, so I just made a little adjustment to the one on the upper right. And that wasn't good enough. And so the one at the very bottom, I was like, okay, now I'm satisfied. I still don't like this little weird eye contact thing, but as long as it's at a distance, I'm cool. But this farce of a photo that someone photoshopped and manipulated and all that kind of stuff, I decided to take a little poetic license with it, and I altered it a couple times. Now I'm satisfied. Now I think it's a true depiction of Camilla Tominey. My truth as I see it. Okay, so that's that. You're welcome. And since I'm talking Tominey right now, um, that you know how they say it takes a village? You know how they say it takes a village? Well, when the village it doesn't help, this is what happens. You know how when you get to the studio late and they say, "Well, you don't have time for hair and makeup." This is what happens. This is what happens when you don't have like, a whole team of people helping you to establish yourself before a show. That's yeah, you wasn't there a horror movie called What Lies Beneath? That's what lies beneath. I really don't like her. But that's the true Camilla right there. That's what lies beneath. I would love to take a measuring tape, top and bottom, just to see what the dimensions are, but I don't have time for that. So yeah, that was all. It she don't really have much to do with the conversation. I just felt like doing that. Okay, so that's that. And then let's see. Let me get to this one. Okay. Okay, there we have it. So this is a sample of some of her handiwork. I don't even want to bother with the language there. I'll let you figure it out for yourself. But this is just a little bit of her handiwork. Okay. This is some of the stuff. If you guys haven't been on Twitter, this is just a sample of the daily um, assaults and attacks on the Twitter sphere that has been happening for a long time. I mean, look at the dates. You got October 1st, 2020. You got August 9th, 2019. Starved herself. Yeah. And this is what's been going on there. And now, of course, what happened to Cardi B is completely different and disgusting. And I'm glad she won. Think what you want about me, but the two cases are worlds apart. Are they really? Are they really? Are they really that far apart? Is there really that much daylight between one story and the other? I don't know. I don't know. And of course, this is from Bot Sentinel. I'm sorry you can't see that didn't come out the way I expected. You can't really see the smaller print. But let me see if I can help you out here. Yeah, there's no way that I can make that any larger than what it is. Let me try this. Gosh, it's even small on my computer. But what it says there, one of the ones that, according to Taz, it says she should never have used the one that you see with her wearing the black and white. She should have never used those larger moon bumps. She was too skinny pre-pregnancy, and considering Archie was an 8-pound baby, um, she should have stopped at this size for her full term look IMO, in my opinion. Okay, this was funny. It was I'm sorry. This was funny as it slipped right. Yeah. So what she's saying now? Take a look at that photo. See what the arrow is. She's saying that that's a moon bump that slipped upwards. You know, um, this was all day, every day from this account. All day, every day. I don't believe she's pregnant. I do believe it is a moon bump. But aside from continuing to share on here, most people agree with me now after so many videos and photos. But now what? Royal family don't care. We can't do anything to stop this nonsense or force the truth. It's a farce. Now, what if, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if someone who followed her would have taken the charge to go after the Duchess of Sussex to try to prove that this is a fake pregnancy? Could you imagine that? There's never a time when a woman is more vulnerable than when she's pregnant. That is the most vulnerable time for any woman in her life is when she's pregnant. I mean, every obligation you have in the world is right there with you 24 hours a day. To have someone perpetuating stuff like this on the social media. And then, of course, the last one where they have the picture of the psycho guy, she wasn't suicidal. She used the Diana throw herself down the steps moment to manipulate Harry. What woman or human would say that? I know I'm pregnant with our first child, but the only reason I'm not killing myself is so you won't be left on your own, like when your mom died. Psycho. That is deeply, deeply, deeply disturbing. That uh, well, anyway, let me stop this. I'm going to get rid of these. But that's this person who says that she's nothing like Tasha K. Her case doesn't resemble Tasha K's in any possible way. But that's what the type of language that these three people shared continuously on the Twitter, on social media. This was a 24-hour a day job for them. When one let up, the other one just picked up. And it is alleged that they communicated between one another. It's been assumed that they have communicated between one another. So um, they're in a situation now. They are in a situation, and legally, I'm pretty sure that they are probably lawyering up right now. And then, of course, um, Chris Bowsey said that more people, and I'm sorry I didn't make a slide for that, but he said that more people should consider going to court. More people should consider lawsuits. With the I guess the insinuation being that there may be a case there, and that if there's a case that should be made against anybody, these three may be in a lot of trouble right now. They may be in some serious, serious financial trouble, among other things. They are probably in a lot of trouble. And one thing that we learned about Miss Tasha K that came out in this trial, which has nothing to do with these three, nothing to do with them whatsoever, is that Tasha K was not paying taxes. She was not paying taxes on the huge income that she received from her channel. Tasha K, people assumed that she was making millions. She hasn't been paying taxes. Taxes is how they brought down Al Capone. You got to pay the tax. You have to pay the tax. And if you don't pay the tax, you are subject to lose everything. And depending on the amount of money or offense, you could possibly lose your freedom. Tasha K is in no way out of the woods. She may have this huge financial debt now that she lost that case. And from what I understand, that the idea that she could possibly appeal has been thrown out. When Cardi B's lawyers approached her lawyers and said that Cardi B would like to lessen the amount, to be charitable, to lessen the amount that you have to pay. Well, it turns out that by doing that, it's alleged that Tasha K waived any possible appeals. She waived the appeals. She waived it. So it's no way that they're going to lower that the damages that she's has to pay now. That was waived. Yeah, Church Nelly. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to go after her. And it's not only just because of her, but the thing is, anybody who's working on social media, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever your bread is buttered, if you are gaining a lot of money right now and you're not paying taxes, the social media companies do not withhold the tax for you. Let me repeat that again. The social media companies do not withhold your tax. Just like some musician in a band on the road, you're going to get whatever you get. And if in any way that money is reported to the IRS and you're not paying up that money that's in your name with your social security number, and just so you guys know, YouTube asks for your social security number. YouTube wants to know how much money you're making. Oh, yeah. The GoFundMe. The GoFundMe. The where was it? Latasha TB. The GoFundMe, if the information is correct, the GoFundMe was created by Tasha K. There was a GoFundMe, if that information is correct, was created by Tasha K. That girl is in trouble. She's in trouble. She has more of a reason to drink now than ever before. If she's not drinking, or if she's just been putting apple juice and fruit punch in those bottles, she needs to swap it out and put some real alcohol in it, because she is in trouble. She's in trouble. Yep. She should have just taken the videos down when she was asked. They said that Cardi B told her to take the videos down, and she did not. And by not taking the videos down, she has put herself in terrible legal jeopardy with the IRS. It was bad enough that she had the court case, but for 3 years, could you imagine how much money that she's made in 3 years? And in those 3 years, she hadn't paid anything. And it goes beyond that, because some of the little things that she has probably done with her finances, they're gonna look through everything now. They're gonna look through everything. They're gonna find stuff that they would have never found if she would have just paid her taxes. Poor Tasha K. Poor Tasha K. This is just a bad time for mean girls. And I'm not just calling her a mean girl because, you know, of obvious reasons, but it's, ugh, you know, the anyway, I'm just gonna leave that alone. But yeah, I don't want to make a false comparison with these other people. I don't really follow Tasha K, and I know nothing about these folks. I only know what people have told me about them. Tasha K, I tried to watch her show a couple times. I was like, nah, this is not for me. But um, that she left those videos up, she really should have just taken them down. Some of the stuff that she had mentioned in those videos were distressing. So anyway, let me see what your thoughts are. Let me see. Okay, Rochelle. Um, I see what you're saying, but that's why I said, if the names, the account that I saw, somebody used her actual name. And yes, anytime something like this comes up, there's a lot of fraud. And it would even seem ridiculous for Tasha K to try to set up a GoFundMe, because the amount of money that she owes, she would never satisfy that with a GoFundMe. She's not going to find that she has the kind of support from her fans to help her pay her way out of this. So I believe that the GoFundMe was probably fake. I believe it was fake. However, it was in her name. Um, it looked like it was very legitimate, but it still could have been fake. And then too, she may say that it wasn't her, and maybe it was. It's so many ifs there. So I'm not. I don't have enough information to respond to that. Uh, oh, Diane. Anytime somebody invokes that university, it is really that kind of a day. Thank you for the laugh. Thank you. I have not seen or heard of anyone on social media going after white females. And if they did, I bet you YouTube would not allow it. Donna Black, you make an incredibly valid point there. You don't find that. It's just not something you readily see. But I'm disturbed when women of color are going after other women of color. That is particularly disturbing to me, um, which is why Wendy Williams have so many people yelling karma up to her bedroom window every day from the street. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. Not that I know of. But that's why so many people are yelling karma when it comes to her, because Wendy Williams seemed to make a nice living for herself out of going after women of color. The one thing I can't unsee is Wendy Williams talking to Whitney Houston that time. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen on television. That was horrific. I cannot unsee that. So, yeah, Tasha K. Never liked her, mean and vile, nasty, big mouth. Yeah, I didn't watch her enough to really get that, but I thought I'm going to tell you this. I thought the whole wine and the winos, I think that that was a big prop. That was something that she used to, um, I guess, identify with people. And the whole thing of the wine and the winos, I didn't believe that. I'm not even sure that she was actually sipping wine the entire time and taking a chug of wine every time she said something she thought was clever. I didn't like that. I thought that was like kind of irresponsible. I don't think that people need to encourage the overconsumption of alcohol just to be interesting. That bothered me a whole lot. My goodness, there are so many channels bashing M with all these conspiracy theories, and YouTube, why are you allowing this? Yeah, one of the points that Cardi B made this point. She said if YouTube would have been doing their job, then she wouldn't have had to sue. I don't think Cardi B wanted to sue. Cardi B has plenty resources, and in spite of the wild reputation that she has, she's actually pretty bright. She's actually a very bright woman. I don't believe she wanted to sue, but I think when she asked her to take those videos down, I don't know chronologically how this all played out, but when she asked her to take those videos down and she refused to do it, and from what I'm to understand, the videos are still up and running. Um, that's when she decided she had to go to her lawyers. She asked her, take the videos down, and she wouldn't do it. She was still monetizing the alleged, assumed lies that were in the video. So, okay. I just like that woman, Wendy, whatever she is, ugly inside and out. Yeah, um, I had some really bad feelings about Wendy Williams for some time. Let me see. H&M need to sue these people. The hate sites are already attacking their babies with nasty lies. Oh, oh. Okay. Sometimes okay, let me drink some water. Okay. Yesterday, this is very emotional for me, but yesterday I accidentally hit the I don't know if it was Sussex or Meghan and Harry, whatever the hashtag, and all of these thumbnails popped up. All of these thumbnails for hate channels, misinformation channels, and one of the things that they have monetized, and please, for your own mental well-being, do not go check this for yourself because I'm saying so. I'm just telling you what I saw. And it was painful. It was very painful. I didn't know that there was that much cruelty in the world. But they have pictures of the Sussexes with a baby that is actually not a baby, but babies that look like they were obviously born with some type of birth defect. And it has a caption that is drawing people into the videos. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but please do not go check for this. Um, there were captions of these photoshopped thumbnails for whatever channels. Yeah, Church Nelly, I just okay. But if you know what I'm talking about, if you may have seen this, that was evil. And there's several of them. There's several of them with these babies that are not the Sussex children, that is not Lily Diana, that use images of other people's children that appear to have been born with birth defects, saying things like revealed, shocking, all that kind of stuff. Um, not, I don't, I kind of blocked out some of the stuff that it said, but it was horrible. It was horrible. I was sorry that I stumbled onto that. That type of monetization using other people's children is horrible. It's horrible. And that's why when I just read this, it reminded me of what I saw yesterday. And there are sites, and I guess that's what Ruth Lopez is talking about, that there are sites where they are calling the Sussex children, and at first it was Archie, now it's Lilibeth. They're saying that the baby has Down syndrome or some type of birth defect. I was so sorry that I stumbled onto that. I was so sorry. Yeah, you know, and in my family, we've had, a family member who lived for over 40 years with disabilities. And I tell you, I can't not I can't block it out of my mind as fast as I want to. But when I saw that yesterday, I was that just destroyed me. I was like, what evil that they would take someone else's children and plaster them on the social media and use those to insult and mock Lilibeth or Archie. Yeah, that does upset me. That is very upsetting. I mean, these are just children. These are just children. And the people, and this has been going on for quite some time, but I guess in an atmosphere where it's okay for someone to compare one of the children to a chimpanzee at birth, what do you expect? What do you expect? And everybody is supposed to go along with that. Dr. Scholler was the most vocal individual when they had that cartoon on HBO about the Cambridge kids. In spite of everything, Dr. Scholler was the most vocal, saying, leave the kids alone. The adults can fend for themselves, but leave the children alone. Leave those children alone. It's just not worth it. Have some kind of dignity and leave those kids alone. So, with that, let me take some of your comments. Um, Sorry for that, you guys. I just got a little triggered when I thought about it, but I'm good. Let me see. Okay, but leave those kids alone. It's never okay with any child from any ethnicity. Anna Espinoza, you're absolutely right. And there are so many times um, when they dehumanize black people, and in particular, black children. That's like the worst of it. But they dehumanize people of color in so many ways. And the fact that so many people allow this to happen with these children lets you know that this society, this Western industrialized society, is in a lot of trouble. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Never open those up. I mean, I couldn't believe it. There was like this whole spread of thumbnails, and I would say out of what filled up the screen on my computer, there had to be at least five of them. There had to be at least five of them that clearly displayed children that obviously were not the Sussex children. And then too, you have to look at how many views they get. There are people who are hungry for that. They're hungry for that. I hope they at least go after the ones that have insulted these children, and I hope that they go after this three. I hope they do go after them. Please let that happen. Go after them, take them to task, because it's one thing to have entertainment and parody, but these three were particularly personal about it. And as Michelle Obama said with the Orange Menace, she said, "You put me and my family at risk." You know, those words can literally put people at risk. And to make any to draw attention to a woman's pregnancy in this very volatile world that we live in, with people who can use social media or use Google to find your location or whatever, it's not okay. This is why Harry was concerned about safety for his family, because of this kind of stuff. But you don't hear Richard Palmer speaking on behalf of the Sussexes or their children. He's worried about this, genuinely worried about Prince Harry and Meghan's criticism of unnamed R word royals has increased the danger of attacks on the royal family. Security needs to be stepped up as a result. Now, he got dragged really good for this. I mean, they dragged him by his heels through the rose garden and everything else. But he put that out there. He put that out there for a reason. But I would assume that the queen can take care of herself. The queen is more than able to take care of herself. She's very well protected. And just to lighten things up a little bit, as you know, the queen has been known to patrol the gardens of the. She's been known to patrol the gardens of the Windsor estate herself, and I think she's going to be okay. Don't worry about Her Majesty. She's okay. When I first saved this photo, I never knew I would actually use it, but here we are. But yeah, Betty's going to be all right. Yes, Phantom is correct. Where did I see that? That is correct. Yeah, where's the Phantom Intruder? Haven't heard much about that. Shouldn't there have been a court appearance or something by now? One would think so, right, C-Mac? One would think so. Yeah. But from what I hear, she's a good shot. So you don't have to worry. She don't miss. That's what I'm saying. She don't miss. Um Anyway, it's been an hour. And thank you for going on this emotional roller coaster with me today. Again, I do apologize for that. But now you know how I really feel. But one last thing, I got a couple things I want to do. This is how you wear red. This is how you wear red. See the confidence? And even though she's wearing a mask, I'm sure she's not, oh, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. I'm sure she's not grinning and grinning and grinning and a grinning and a grinning some more and grinning some more. Her arms are not flailing. You know, she's not doing the whole jazz hand thing. No, none of that. She's poised and dignified and resolute in her confidence. You see that? That's how you wear red. You don't you don't make a mockery of other people when you wear red. You just wear red because you want to. So that's Queen Letizia of Spain. Um, that is the Queen of Spain. And also, when you wear red, it's nice if you have some hips. There I go being petty again, but it is nice to add some hips to it. Um, okay, okay, I shouldn't do that. All right. Um, no hand flailing. See how she keeps her hands to her side? See that? She's not trying to wave in a 747 or anything like that. She's not doing what is it, Bob Fosse? She's not doing a Bob Fosse move. No jazz hands. She's just dignified and lovely and very intelligent. Yeah, very intelligent. She's a real queen. She's a real deal. And she was also born a commoner, but somehow she has managed to rise to the occasion without all that jazz hands. You know, not without all that jazz. Hold the jazz, please. Okay, so there's that. And then, of course, as usual, we have to honor our faves. Let's see. Okay. Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Thank you, Doria, for all of the wonderful things that you have done in your daughter's life. Thank you for giving the Sussexes strength when they needed it the most. Thanks for being a great grandma. I mean, I love the fact that she's there. No matter what happened, the fact that I know that Doria is there makes me feel better. And then, of course, there is Princess Diana, who sacrificed so much to modernize an institution that for years has been resistant to change. But like it or not, this is the person that put the royal family on the map with the rest of the world. If it wasn't for Princess Diana, I wouldn't be doing this right now. Plain and simple. I would have had no interest in that age old, neglected institution, neglected from modernity, of course. But I would have had no interest. So thank you, Doria. Thank you, Diana. A few more comments, and then we got to get out of here. It's been an hour. I went to your unit last night, but you were not there. Okay. Okay. Miss S, I'm not sure what that means, but bring wine. That's all I can say is bring wine. Okay. The Dutch Queen Maxima also is a pretty woman in red and many other colors, and she is also very down to earth and smart. Yes, I've read about her before. Yes. Um, bring wine. Okay, let's see what else. Um, Vinny Blair, I want to use a new photo of Doria, but I just don't want to use the paparazzi photos, and Doria doesn't have that many, so I don't want to use the paparazzi photos. Doria didn't ask for the attention, so I'm gonna try to find something that's official that I could use. You're absolutely right. It is time to change it. So I'm open to that, but I just don't want to use the paparazzi photos. Okay. Recently watched a video of Harry and Meghan with Kate and Will, but before things went bad at Heads Up Together conference, and Kate does mumble. Meghan spoke clearly. That's us why they're so yeah. Kate does have that problem. She doesn't articulate herself very well, and she tends to speak in a very low monotone, and then somewhere toward the end of that it just kind of drops off a cliff. So yeah, it is. Sometimes when she talks, I think it's just me. I turn up the volume and stuff like that, but there's actually a video where Kate is doing a speech early in her career as a princess of the realm, and she's holding a piece of paper, and somebody zoomed in with the camera, and literally she was shaking like Don Knotts. I mean, you almost had to feel sorry for her. Okay, RG Teshner, I'm glad that I can be here, and thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Yes, good night, Elaine. Yeah, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Well, since we're on the subject, Michelle Fierce, since we're on the subject, I was holding out on this one, but I'll share it right now, and then I really got to get going. Uh, Pre-parsing, what is that? Supposed to be. Oh, yeah, it is preparing food for the homeless, visiting children. What is that? Palliative care. Holocaust Memorial Day, honoring veterans. What is the common denominator in these photos? What is the common denominator? Now, I got this from Twitter, and I was going to share this a few times, and I never did. But what is the common denominator? You see that? The inappropriate emotional response to the situation. Preparing food for the homeless, party time. Visiting children's care home, Um, laugh, smile. Holocaust Memorial Day, grin, grin. Honoring veterans. And see, these are photos that come from the tabloid press. These photos are not from, you know, people at the event. This is just one of dozens of photos recently where Jazz Hands seems to not know how to behave. It may just be a nervous tick, and maybe I'm just picking on her or something like that, but this is the standard bearer for the royal family. This is the savior for the royal family. All I can say to them is good luck, because if she's behaving like this now, what do you think's going to happen in the future? She has some issues. She has some real issues. And when she tries to contain some of that enthusiasm, then she tends to look robotic. So, good luck, British royal family. Y'all gonna need it. Anyway, who wants the last word of the day? It cannot be this. It should be, but it cannot be this. But yeah, we got to get going. Um, don't forget later on, Duchess of Success has a podcast coming up really soon. Remember, the Sussexes are winning. They're winning, and they're going to keep winning in spite of everything that's been thrown at them. They are winning. So worry not, children. They are winning. So, last word. Is that really how you want to phase this out, Adrian Burrow? I mean, because I'll do it. Okay. So Adrian Burrow's last word for us today is is that it? Because I'll do it. Or should we go with Rosa Roberts, huh? Everyone have a good day. Okay, I'm looking. I'm looking. I like this one too. Come on. Sums it up. I don't know, Cal D. That's kind of I'm looking for something more profound. Um and please nobody say something like strike down the royal family or something like that. That happened the other day and y'all embarrassed me like you wouldn't believe with that. So it was funny though. Okay. Thanks for okay, okay, but I don't want a compliment, Kay Costello. That's embarrassing. I don't want it to be about me at all. Yeah, but okay. Let me see. In 10 years of time, she still will be dull and boring. Did you all not understand the requirements? We're trying to find some beautiful platitudes to end this podcast. No, that's advertising. No, no. Baron, Tina and Michelle are returning in February. I like that, Joan Garcia, but we want something that's. Oh, thanks for that update, by the way. Um, I like that, Duchess. Come on, y'all. I'm looking for something. I can't believe I'm still looking. Peace out. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Peace out, y'all. Peace out. That's it. It didn't have to be complicated. What is wrong with you all? I said just a nice little platitude to phase us out gently, quietly, in a very dignified manner. Uh, yes, everybody send a peace out. Okay, gotta go, you all. Love you all. Thank you so much. Sorry for my emotional moment, but I don't like when people mess with cheering. Anybody's children, even them Cambridge kids. Leave those children alone. But thank you guys.